5'11" junior serve specialist to get us underway here in West Lafayette. Front of the net. Kenna Woolard. Swing number one, kill number one. Boilers lead 1-0 early on.
Kenna Woolard, we talked about it in the open. She's the heartbeat of this offense. The 33 kills against UCLA is huge. She's going to have to step up here today just like she has this season.
Woolard, the 6'1" junior outside hitter from Illinois Valley Central High School, Dunlap, Illinois. And right away, Nebraska with a big swing. Their first kill of the game to tie things up at 1.
Just as we talk about Woolard, Harper Murray kind of wants to get in on the conversation. She's got a strong swing with her, but she also does have some finesse that we might see here later today. That swing too much for the Boilermakers.
So now the Nebraska native Olivia Mock gets things underway. Good high hands there from Nebraska. And Adriano sails that one long out of play. Point Purdue, it's 2-1.
And good communication by the Boilermakers there. We've seen them at parts throughout the season. Again, a younger squad and less experience, but 15 matches now under their belt in this young season. They've started playing together and started clicking as a well-oiled train.
And now the West Lafayette native, Rachel Williams, her first serve and a big swing on the outside. Harper Murray finds the floor.
Harper Murray picking up her second kill of this match. Again, she is a main proponent, but she's also got a lot of help. But we'll see kind of what Kelly, the head coach, does here today. Lets Murray go, or if she kind of more of a complementing offensive attack.
Murray, the second-team All-American last season, hitting .294 this season. It's been a force for the Huskers in the front row. Now, Kenna Woolard tooling that one off the block. Boilers take the 1-point advantage off of a nice play there from Woolard.
Yeah, great job by Woolard here. Not trying to have much power, just finesse, but just able to get it off their defender. She looked like it was almost pushing it towards the defender to try to get that deflection. Done very successful. We've seen at points where she's trying to go down the line, so nice job by Woolard here.
Now the 6'1" junior setter, Anderson, sends it away. And Andy Jackson on the slide. That's something we're going to have to pay attention to here all afternoon. Jackson on that slide is deadly. You saw it the other night against Washington, and Jackson getting going here early.
Yeah, Jackson is very deadly. A nice compliment like we've been talking about on that right side for Nebraska. Does nice off her one leg.
Grace Heaney into the block, back to the Boilers. Woolard tries to go soft again. Back to Woolard. And this time Woolard goes straight through and finds the floor. Woolard now with 3 kills on 3 swings.
3 kills on 3 swings and 3 chances there for the Boilermakers. Even though the Boilermakers got that point, nice job by them to keep going and continue in that attack with the tough Nebraska defense at the net.
Correction, Woolard 3 of 4 now, hitting .750 now behind the service line. Down the middle, and Harper Murray coming out of the back row with a nice little touch on the ball and finds the floor.
Yeah, we've seen Murray at points throughout now. 3 kills, 2 of them very hard swings, but she does have some of that finesse. Is able to kind of go off of it and able to get it to fall here for the Cornhuskers, tied up 4-4.
Jackson kisses it off the tape. Boilers play it, but a free ball for Nebraska. Nice dig there from Anderson. And a swing from Woolard just goes a little bit long. Point Nebraska.
We talked a little bit about the few errors that the Cornhuskers do make, so if you're the Boilermakers, to be successful, you're going to have to play near perfection to beat a perfect squad in the Cornhuskers.
That one sails long, a service error for the Cornhuskers, their first of the matchup. Something to keep an eye on as Nebraska does have a little bit of a chink in the armor with the service errors. We'll see if the Boilermakers can make the most of it. Now Ryan McAleer, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week, back to serve it away for the Boilers. Nice dig from McAleer. Nice dig from Mock. Heaney on the outside. And the Boilers can't keep that one up as Taylor Landfair finds the floor, her first kill of the matchup. Landfair, another one of those stars on the floor for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. All-American, all Big Ten. She's the Big Ten Player of the Year in 2022, up in Minnesota now with her talents down here in Lincoln. Cash Anderson. The bank's not open on Sunday, but cashing in is Akasha Anderson, and not us up at 6.
Cash Anderson was huge in the Boilermakers' last match against Ohio State. They were very efficient, and that is because of Cash Anderson. Has done a nice job kind of having a lesser role, but still being a key glue guy, per se, in the middle of that Boilermaker offense.
Okay, Anderson is 6'3". Outside hitter, transfer from Michigan State. Kenna Woolard. Big swing, finds the floor, and the Boilers lead 7-6.
We can see some of the Boilermakers fans here in attendance based off that swing. Gets Holloway up on their feet. Nice job to split the defenders on that one.
And partner, I was going to let you bring that up here, but the Nebraska Cornhuskers travel well. A large number of them out here tonight in the Boiler Block Party, so we'll see how that is counteracted by the Cornhuskers sitting in the Boiler Block. But a good mix of both fans out here this evening.
Yeah, good mix indeed. It's a crazy environment that we've got here throughout. Would be nice to have the block party. Nonetheless, it is fall break. Students are gone, so seen a lot of red, but also seen a lot of gold here.
So second service error here early on for the Nebraska Cornhuskers gives Purdue the 8-7 lead. Now Julia Kane will go back on her second rotation here. Kane leads the team with 15 service aces. And you see why right there, number 16, as Julia Kane with a little teardrop to give the Boilers a 2-point advantage here in set number 1.
A little different look here for Kane. You talked about the teardrop, a little bit of finesse and not all power, but doing a nice job with finding that placement, splits the Cornhuskers defense.
Joust at the net. Into the net is called against Rebecca Alec. Point Purdue. It is now a 3-point advantage here in set number 1.
Boilermakers finding their way a little bit here throughout. 1st to 10. Again, they're going to have to be 1st to 20 if they want to be successful here today.
Going light is Nebraska. Purdue capable to keep it up. Murray has it stuffed back into her lap. Again, Murray. Net violation against Purdue, point Nebraska.
Nice job by Murray. Again, she has that balance between power and just kind of dropping it over the net. I know it's something that her and head coach Danny Busboom Kelly have talked about. Don't necessarily agree on, kind of want the more kill attack, but nonetheless, Murray's successful here.
Woolard into that Nebraska block, and the block stands tall. Adriano and Jackson over there. Back-to-back points for the Huskers.
Yeah, big for the Huskers, not able to, or able to stifle the Purdue rally for a little bit. That defense is spectacular, especially at that net.
24 blocks this season for Adriano. He's been a stud, the freshman from Italy. And her cohort there, Andy Jackson, right up the middle, finds the floor, and we're tied at 10.
Great play there by the Cornhuskers. The quick set to Jackson was successful, kind of going in the middle of the net. Cornhuskers able to get 3 quick points back and tie this one up at 10.
Grace Heaney out of the back row. Off the tape. And now the Nebraska scoring run is bumped to 4-0 as they take the 1-point advantage.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Nice job by them, and nice job by our Big Ten Plus crew showing us that replay. A quick challenge for the officials.
Anderson goes cross court. Jackson stuffed on the slide. Jackson, though, following it up, tooling that one off the Boiler block, and we're tied at 20. It's like seeing Tom Brady mess up in the Super Bowl there as Andy Jackson on the slide is usually 100%, usually going down. The Boiler block able to get it.
I was going to say the same thing, Craig. She almost looked stunned when Dior Charles got her a piece of that one.
Kenna Woolard with the response, elevates and delivers. Boilers lead by 1.
Again, Nebraska hasn't lost a set in over a month. They've played some tough competition, have won some matches 3-2, so they've gotten to that 5th set, and I think that's how the Boilermakers are going to be successful here today. I think we got a long match ahead of us in this one. It's not going to be anything quick.
Last two matchups between these squads were the longest in program history for both. Almost 3 hours in the 5-set matches. We are ready for a long one here today. Long rally. Ward goes over the block. Jackson on the slide. Jackson with the changeup on that one, able to push it through the block and find the floor, tied at 21.
Yeah, Jackson, as she had gotten stuffed a little bit in that last point, originally got stuffed, then got it off of Dior Charles, trying to go to maybe a different look. That changeup that you talked about, a little bit of the different look, but also trying to mix things up in this first set.
And those are the mistakes you can't have if you're the Purdue Boilermakers in Nebraska, capitalizing, taking the 22-21 advantage here. Jackson
found herself NCAA runner-up last year with Louisville, trying to go over the hump in her first year with Nebraska.
Out of the timeout, off the tape. Sails long, out of play, point Purdue, 22-22. It's a race to 25. Win by 2. The Overland Park, Kansas native and Ryan McAleer back to serve. McAleer injured in the offseason, having a really good campaign this season, but someone else having a really nice campaign, Harper Murray out of that back row, elevates and delivers. Murray now with 7 kills on the matchup.
Yeah, and Murray's kind of been all over the net here throughout this one, finding herself in the middle, finding herself on that left side, so kind of different looks for Kelly's Cornhuskers.
Beautiful serve, and the ace just kisses the line in Nebraska. We'll see set point and set number 1, and Dave Shondell.
And the nation for volleyball. That's why these fans are able to travel, because it means so much to them, means so much to Nebraska.
Boiler block party turning up the volume. The Boilers need it. Grace Heaney splits the block and finds the floor. 24-23. Purdue needs one more to come even. Nebraska will see set point number 2 here in set number 1.
Nice job by Heaney to kind of get woken up here on this one. A compliment to Woolard.
Anderson at the net. Nice dig there from McAleer. Anderson goes opposite hand. Back to Landfair. Off high hands. Anderson again. Long rally. Adriano. Nice dig from Heaney. Anderson again. Long rally. Out of the middle, and Harper Murray finishes off the Purdue Boilermakers in set number 1. 25-23, Nebraska. To the brink there in set number 1, but weren't able to finish off the number 1 Cornhuskers. We'll see what they can do here in set number 2 as we're underway. Nice dig there. Sigler. And the Boiler block awakens for the first point of set number 2.
Yeah, great job by the Boilermakers to kind of flush that first set behind them. They made Nebraska look human, and I think that's the big thing that Dave Shondell was telling his team. Great job by Lulich using her 6'5" frame to get a block on this one and stifle the Cornhuskers on the first point.
And if some is good, more is better. Julia Kane with the service ace as the Boilers go back-to-back. Kane with her 2nd service ace of the matchup here.
Yeah, Kane leading the team with service aces, doing a nice job kind of showing why. We can see it there with some English on the ball.
Free ball for Nebraska. Riley serving Alec, and Alec destroys that one for the first point of the Nebraska set number 2.
Yeah, Alec had a negative hitting percentage before this one, doing a nice job kind of getting back on how efficient she's been. 439 hitting coming into this one.
Yeah, I was going to mention that with how balanced this Nebraska team is. We didn't hear Rebecca Alec's name a whole lot. And set number 1, Adriano with a big swing there, and back-to-back points for the Huskers. We're tied at 2.
Yeah, and Adriano, you talked about a little bit earlier on, Big Ten Freshman of the Week earlier in the season, hit 545 versus Penn State, another top Big Ten program.
Lulich off the high hands, back to Woolard. Into the net is called against the Cornhuskers. Point Purdue, it's 3-2.
Kendall Woolard now with 9 kills in this matchup, getting close to double digits. She's going to need probably 20-plus, Craig, here today. Again, the Boilermakers have other attacks on their offensive side, but Woolard, she's the heartbeat of this offense.
As Adriano elevates and delivers, we're tied at 3, and that's a question that we have to ask and we'll pay attention to as we move forward is Nebraska isn't perfect every single time on the floor. So can Purdue take advantage of those mistakes from Nebraska? Because they don't make them very often, but when they do, can Purdue take advantage?
And I think even though the Boilermakers went down 1-0 in that first set, I think that's what we saw. Some of the mistakes from Nebraska with serving, but also getting blocked and stifled, kind of like how they haven't been this season.
Kenna Woolard with the teardrop right in the back row there. Woolard now with 9 kills.
Yeah, and I think the big thing about Woolard is throughout this entire season, she's near the tops of the Big Ten in terms of kills, points, and attacks. So she attacks a lot, but she also kills a lot. She's been a lot more efficient here today, hitting 350. So she hasn't attacked a ton, but when she has, she's been very successful.
Sneaky, sneaky from Bergen Riley there. That little setter dump into the campfire, and the Boilers couldn't keep it up. 4-4 now.
And we'll see some of that from Riley. We'll also see some of that from Anderson on the other side for the Boilermakers, some sneakiness.
And the Huskers smiles all around, taking advantage of the Boilers not getting set as Murray bounces that one off the head of Dior Charles. 5-4 now Nebraska. Heaney. Free ball for the Huskers. Andy Jackson on the slide, and she knows it. Tooling it off the block, back-to-back points for Nebraska. It's 6-4.
Yeah, Jackson, I mean, we've been talking about it all throughout that first set. She's great on the slide, able to go to her right and just get it in between the defenders. Boilermakers able to get a hand on this one, but does go out for them.
Nice job there as Woolard was able to get it through the Cornhusker block.
And even though the Cornhuskers are undefeated, you can just see the excitement that they play with. You know, there's the pressure of being undefeated, but also there's some of the excitement and joy that they have.
Point Purdue there as they were able to get that one through the Husker block. Dior Charles on the kill. It's 7-5 now. Jackson on the slide, but Jackson a little bit too much on that one as that one's out of play. Point Purdue at 7-6.
Yeah, Jackson has so much power, just a little bit too much on this one, going past that back line. Boilermakers find themselves down 1, getting a little bit of a couple points here, strung together.
Boilers hanging tough. Murray gets it over. Dior Charles right at the lip of the net, able to find the floor. It's tied at 7 now.
Yeah, Dior Charles picking up her 3rd kill, the signature kill by Charles. Doing a nice job. We've seen what she can do on the defensive end of things. 62 blocks on the season coming into today, but also that offensive presence that she does have in her bag.
Finish by Grace Heaney. Nebraska couldn't handle the ball, and Heaney serves it up for him. It's 8-7 Purdue.
Just as Nebraska had been getting going in this one, up a couple, Boilermakers find themselves up 1 in this one. Grace able to find the open space down that right side.
Boilers on a little bit of a run here. And how do you answer a run if you're Nebraska? Harper Murray out of the back row. It's automatic. 8-8 now.
Yeah, you go back to the bread and butter that is Harper Murray on that offensive attack.
So now Jackson to serve. Anderson goes cross court, no touch. Point Nebraska.
Anderson trying to show a little bit of a different look for them, just not going straight at the Cornhuskers, but a little bit too much here down that sideline.
Charles taps it over. And Andy Jackson doesn't get enough of that one. Point Purdue. It's kind of scary with Andy Jackson. She's either putting it right where it needs to go or just missing, and she just misses there.
Yeah, just missing. She's very good and near perfection. Couple back-to-back serve or hit errors, so rotated out of this one, but she is very dominant in what she does.
Landfair tools that one off the block, her second kill of the matchup. The Cornhuskers into double digits first here in set number 2. It's 10-9. And now the Sioux Falls, South Dakota native and Bergen Riley back to serve. The junior setter just kisses that one right off the net. Sneaky Grace Heaney drops that one in there. Usually smiling Grace Heaney, sneaky on that one.
Yeah, smiling Grace Heaney, you'll always see that no matter the situation, no matter what. We always see that southpaw swing from Grace, but just going with that right hand, just tap it over and just dunks it on the Cornhuskers.
10-10 now. Big swing on the slide, and Rebecca Alec finds the floor.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Fletcher Lawyer will have a big test this year, but the Boilermakers are favored when it comes to basketball.
Huge swing on the slide. As that one goes out of play. Point Purdue, 18-14 as Jackson just missed.
And if you're the Boilermakers here, you don't have to play maybe perfection, but you have to play close to it here. Can't have any service errors or any mishits. Doing a nice job there.
Dior Charles wins the joust at the net. As Riley wasn't able to get it over. Back-to-back points for Purdue. It's 18-15 as Purdue tries to climb back out of this hole.
Yeah, they've climbed back a little bit, but they're going to have to be first to 20 if they want to be successful. We talked about it. Nebraska 39-0 went first to the red zone.
Grace Heaney. And you can't do that as Heaney goes headlong into the candy cane. So point Nebraska as they're one away from 20 now.
Yeah, and on that one, looks like the set to Heaney maybe just a little bit too over the top for her to kind of get a swing on that one and get it past the candy cane.
Anderson off the block. Point Purdue, it's 19-16 as Akasha Anderson with her third kill of the matchup.
Akasha Anderson, even though she hasn't quite shown up on the stat sheet, now 3 kills like you just said, kind of been a presence for the Boilermakers here throughout. She was very successful in their win at Ohio State earlier this week.
Landfair sends that one off the hands of Taylor Anderson. Point Nebraska. Nebraska for the second consecutive set into the red zone as they hit 20. Now 40-0.
Well, yeah, 40-0, but Boilermakers could still maybe change that script. Got to get 9 points here in this second set, so we'll see if they can do it. They'd be the first team to do it here throughout, but if they want to beat the undefeated team, they're gonna have to be first to 20.
Harper Murray off the high hands and finds the floor. Murray with her 11th kill of the matchup. Trying to come back here against the #1 team in the land, down 5 in set number 2. The Boilers need some momentum here. And that momentum stifled there right at the front of the net by Rebecca Alec, her 4th kill of the matchup.
Yeah, we talk about momentum. Alec didn't have any momentum on that one, just jumped straight up but able to slam it on the Boilermakers.
So now Riley behind the service line. Alec one more time. Joust with Luich. Nice dig there by Mock. Big swing on the outside. And that one finds the floor. Allie Check. Check, a name we haven't said a whole lot here. Her first kill of the matchup. Check all Big 12 second team. There's a transfer from Baylor, shooting .379 this season. And the Huskers are 2 away. And that one stuffed by Rebecca Alec. And now set point for the Huskers in set number 2.
Yeah, and Alec has really come together these last couple of points. Just been a presence at the net, doing a nice job. We saw what she could do on the offensive side a little earlier, but she is number 5 in career blocks at Nebraska with 464. You see why.
Cornhusker faithful trying to drown out the Boiler block here today. Swing and finish. Taylor Landfair puts the exclamation point on set number 2. To make it 43, and then it'll be another sweep for the Huskers. We are underway here in set number 1. Not the start the Boilers were looking for, as Woolard wanted to tool that one off the block, but it just went a little errant. Point Nebraska, and now the Bennington, Nebraska native, Olivia Mock. Great defense from the Huskers. Nice dig for Heaney. And that one goes out of play off the dig from McAleer. Back-to-back points for Nebraska. And partner, what does Purdue need to do to try to get some of this momentum back, this energy here in the building?
Yeah, Craig, I mean, my coach always told me you can't eat the elephant in one bite. You gotta bite away at it, get it bit by bit, and that's what the Boilermakers are going to have to do. They find themselves down 3-0 in this third set, so they're going to have to kind of, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a timeout from Shondell, but they kind of just got to figure it out on their own. Again, a young lineup, but they've played well together. If they can just get a set, they can maybe get the ball rolling.
And Mock with 2 service aces against Washington. Her first one here today. As the Huskers extend the lead to 3. And Kenna Woolard finds the floor. Her 11th kill of the matchup. It's 3-1 now, trying to breathe some encouragement into her teammates on the floor.
Yeah, it is indeed, and we talked about it with Nebraska. Murray kind of, whenever the Boilermakers kind of get in a run, they go back to Murray, back to that bread and butter. That's what the Boilermakers are doing right now. Hadn't heard Woolard in a little bit in that second set.
Anderson into the block of Charles. That one tooled off the block for Harper Murray. 13 kills now on 20 swings. Murray has been electric for the Huskers. 2 service aces and 3 digs.
And I think also, if you're Shondell, I mean, Nebraska won that last set by 9 points, but it really was the Boilermakers' offensive strategy. They hit 0-6-9 in that set, so weren't efficient on the offensive side. We're going to have to get back to that, and that is because of the blocking by Nebraska.
Another good opportunity for the Huskers. Big swing out of the back row. Terea Sigler with the Terminator. That one landed back on the other side of the floor for the Huskers. It's 5-1 now.
And Craig, I don't know what these girls ate at halftime. I don't know if it was Wheaties or whatnot, but there is some serious momentum with these swings, some serious power coming from the Cornhuskers. They're trying to get in here and get this thing in a sweep. They don't want to give anything up to the Boilermakers. We saw how hard that bounce back off of Kane. Nebraska coming in strong.
Anderson tried to go sneaky, and Nebraska smart to the game. 6-1 now Huskers, and partner, I don't know. Talk about what these teams had for breakfast. Nebraska eats dominance for breakfast every single day of the week and twice on Sunday. Well, and here we are on Sunday, so 6-1 Nebraska. And it just keeps getting better for the Huskers. What a block there from Harper Murray. 7-1 Huskers, and that's going to draw a timeout from Dave Shondell as it's do or die for the Boilers here in set number 3. Bring you this game. It's 7-1 here. Nebraska's in the midst of a 4-0 scoring run. Purdue needs an answer, and they're not going to get it on that play as Woolard tries to go off the block again. Out of play, 8-1 Nebraska, and a 4-0 run now becomes a 5-0, and Nebraska starting to dominate here in set number 3. And partner, it's kind of like quicksand. You come out in set number 1 and you feel good. It's 25-23. You're that close to number 1, and then Nebraska quicksand just starts setting in, and you start going deeper and deeper into it. Nebraska with the service error. Not a problem with that in set number 2. We saw it in set number 1. The first one here in set number 3.
Yeah, and I think that's what it was. Nebraska looked human in that first set, and I think that the first set really was so important because they looked human, but they were still able to come out with a win, go up 1-0. Boilermakers, that first set was so pivotal for them. They haven't really found their groove as of late, especially not in this third set.
Nice dig out of the back row. Heaney again. Mock keeps it up, but back row attack is called against Nebraska. 8-3 now.
Yeah, and that's some of the problems you run with when you kind of go for some of those crossing patterns. The decoy, Nebraska able to kind of give a point to Purdue. Let's see if Purdue can kind of take advantage of some of those errors, those few errors that we had been talking about. Boilermakers are going to have to if they want to stay in this one.
Set and finish. Andy Jackson with the dunk. 9-3 now, my goodness.
You talk about fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Geez, that thing was coming in hot on that one. We've seen it throughout, but I'm telling you, these Cornhuskers are coming out strong in this third set.
Woolard able to tool that one off the outside of the Nebraska block. 9-4 with Woolard. Her 12th kill of the matchup, now heads behind the service line.
And I think with Woolard, she has been successful throughout the season, but she does have a lot of attacks and hasn't been hitting as good as of late.
And that one sails long, only the second service error for the Purdue Boilermakers, but it comes at a price. And now Nebraska with the point, first to 10, up 6. And now Andy Jackson back to serve. Landfair. Landfair so good on that one. Feels the Boilermaker block and just drops it off right to the side.
Yeah, and I know head coach Danny Busboom Kelly doesn't like those tips. She likes prefer the hard kills, but if you're Nebraska and you're kind of able to get that around the defender, you're going to have a lot of success and able to find the open floor. Service
Error there for Jackson. 5 service errors for the Cornhuskers. The Boilers haven't made them pay for it. And now Ryan McAleer back to serve. 11-5 is the score. Landfair one more time. Tools that one off the Boilermaker block. It's 12-5.
Landfair hearing her name as of late more in this third set. Hadn't heard her much, but you talked about it earlier on. Big Ten Player of the Year her freshman year at Minnesota, transferred over to Nebraska. Hasn't been that spotlight star, but that's not what Nebraska's about.
Watch out below. Rebecca Alec elevates on the overpass and finishes 13-5.
Alex had a couple of those kills now where it's just been uncontested at the net. Boilermakers have put it back over, almost an alley-oop to her. She's able to slam it on them here.
Well, we haven't seen the Boilers struggle with the overpass here in this one, but Nebraska not a team that you want to give them extra swings right at the front of the net. It's 14-5 now.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
And I think even if you're the Boilermakers, even if you come down with this third set and do get swept, I think if you can kind of get back in this one and kind of write your own, you can kind of show that you did belong, because that's what they showed in that first set. But that second set, they allowed Nebraska to kind of get away. Their offensive attack wasn't as strong as it had been, and they weren't able to capitalize off those errors.
We'll get an answer right now. And the call will stand. Purdue will get the point. Nebraska will lose the challenge. And we're hearkening this back to about a week ago. The Boilers were down 0-2 against UCLA out at Pauley Pavilion, and the Boilers went on a little bit of a run and pulled the reverse sweep. They won 3 sets in a row there, and then did the same against USC the following night. And then the Washington Huskies see if the Boilers can come back here and try to pull the reverse sweep. It's 16-10. That one goes off of high hands from Harper Murray, her 14th kill of the matchup.
And Murray, a name we hadn't heard in a little bit, kind of had been Jackson and really Landfair on that right side. Murray gonna serve this one. Has a couple aces here today.
Huskers keep it up. What a save by McAleer. Out of the back row and finish. Harper Murray. 15 kills now for Murray. She's hitting over 600.
Over 600 is insane. Anything over 400 is insane, but Harper Murray has been phenomenal. She's been efficient, which has been why Nebraska has been able to kind of pull ahead in this third set, but also here in general. They haven't gone to her frequently, but when they do, they know they have their girl.
19-10 here. As Murray back to serve, looking to get the Huskers into the red zone, but the Huskers will have to wait. 6th service error of the matchup for Nebraska.
And even when you're Nebraska, even when you make those mistakes, I mean, obviously they have a little bit of a lead here in this third set. They have some of that maturity, and they've been here in the big spotlight before, so that's what allows them to kind of get it out of some of the holes they might get in with some of those long rallies.
Finding the floor there, 19-12. Jackson stuffed by Anderson. Now Heaney from the outside. Grace Heaney finds the floor. It's 19-13. Purdue starting to build a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, they are indeed, and Grace just, normally you would see her kind of go over top of those defenders. She's able to kind of find the angle, go to their right, her left, doing a nice job. If you're the Boilermakers, you got to switch something up.
Andy Jackson delivers. Have to take a look at that tape and use the insurance company on that tape to insure your floor when Andy Jackson's around. Jackson, 12 kills, and now back to serve. The Huskers are 5 away. Heaney off the block. Anderson. Nice job by Murray in the back row. Call is point Nebraska, 21-13, as the Boilers are looking over to Coach Shondell, looking to see if there was a touch.
Yeah, the block party that we have here, and Cash Anderson looking very adamant that that was a touch and point Purdue. Nonetheless, Murray kind of showing it. We've talked about it. I mean, the 15 kills here today, but also doing a nice job of kind of passing and some of those digs that she's gotten. But when we take a look at some of this replay, again, Purdue pretty adamant that it's on them. We'll see this a very pivotal point because Nebraska does end up getting this one. Boilermakers will only have a couple points left to work with. Boilermakers have looked good, but have not necessarily been up for the challenge here throughout. They want to claw back in this one, and if you're Dave Shondell, I mean, this team, still a young team. They've played together throughout this season, 15 matches under their belt. I think this is a big testament and kind of what they can do even with the little time they have left potentially in this game to kind of how they're going to be equipped for the postseason, because this roster doesn't have much postseason starting experience.
It looks like it hits her head on that one there. That's a tough break for Nebraska as it bounced off Alex's head there. And partner, this is early on in the season. We got a long way to go here in this 2025 college volleyball season. This is a great look for the Purdue Boilermakers to see what the top of the mountain looks like. Obviously, Nebraska doing what Nebraska does, whether it's on the road or at Devaney in Lincoln, but this is a great measuring stick for the Purdue Boilermakers. I mean, there's a long season ahead and a good look, if you will, from the top of the mountain.
Yeah, and if you're going to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I mean, both these teams are going to find themselves in the postseason, and so I mean, there's potential they match up later on.
So the call stands. Purdue will lose a challenge. It is 21-13 in Nebraska, 4 points away from their 7th sweep in a row. Again, we talked about it a couple of times in the Open. Nebraska hasn't lost a set since September 16th when they lost 2 sets to ranked Creighton, a match that went 5. A lot of work here today for the Boilers if they want to try to go 4 sets. Kasha Anderson with one step in the right direction as it's a point for Purdue. It's 21-14. Anderson with her 5th kill of the matchup.
Yeah, Cash Anderson doing a nice job kind of going cross court on that one. Gets the Nebraska defense kind of out of sorts.
Monster swing, and you're not going to get out of the way of that one. Terea Sigler. Sigler now with 2 kills.
And Sigler, not much of a name we've heard here throughout. She's definitely falls under the radar, like a lot of these Nebraska volleyball players because of how much star talent they have.
Tooling that one off a solo block of Sigler's hands. Grace Heaney with the kill. It's 22-15. And you talk about Terea Sigler, though. I haven't heard her name a whole lot. The 6'3" freshman outside hitter from Scottsdale, Arizona. It's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
She is indeed, and I mean, she's one of 2 players on the Nebraska roster to play 50-plus sets this season.
Sigler says, I'll have a double. 3rd kill of the matchup now as it's 23-15, and Nebraska's 2 away. Nice dig there. And who else but Harper Murray? She just fans at that one. So good, though, finding the floor, and Murray with 16 kills.
And you look at Murray's stats, I mean, 16 kills, but also just filling it up in other ways. 2 aces, and then also 5 digs and 2 blocks.
So match point now here in set number 3. Free ball for the Huskers. Grace Heaney off the high hands. And that is gonna do it. Allie Check with the exclamation point to finish off the Purdue Boilermakers. A 25-15 set 3 victory. And it'll give Nebraska their 7th sweep in a row. And also their 7th ranked victory here on this early season. And partner, you talked about to be the woman, you got to beat the woman, in Nebraska continuing to be the woman here in 2025. We take a look at the